Hi, welcome to my channel True Divine 44. This is my new channel for general tarot readings. I'm Jennifer Roberts and I'll be doing general tarot readings each month for sign to sign. I'm playing around with the format in the middle of the months just to see what people need, what people like, and have some fun with it. I like to play with my cards. Doesn't sound good. So I'm a Gemini and this reading is for January 2020 and it's for the lovely Gemini brothers and sisters of mine. I'm a very Gemini in my chart, so it has its bonuses and it has its difficulties, but we'll see how this one goes for you. So there's this nearly there feeling, there's this what's next, but excitement, there's this little tingle of opportunities knocking, things starting to fall into place, and you starting to plan a little bit more about where you want to go, what direction you're going to go in. And with the Wheel of Fortune coming in, having the courage to go for who you feel you really are, rather than the projection that you've put out for a long time, being the real you, the genuine you, and having less of a care about what people think or what people might say. And that Wheel of Fortune turning in a very positive way. You know, you've spent a long time building firm foundations, lots of foundational work, even ancestral work, you know, real spirit work, you know, going back to the root and really growing what is good and taking out what is bad. There's this stop, there's this destiny, there's this transformational moment that is unstoppable change. But that change looks good, it's full of clarity, it's full of purpose, and it's full of this building on foundations that you've already put down. So they're strong, it's firm. And it's felt like there hasn't been much firmness, much direction for the longest time. So this is fun, this is needed, this is where you want to be. It might still feel shocking because it's such a big change and you've waited so long for this change that, you know, it still might feel out of the blue, you know, real impact like thing, you know, like just a real impact on your life, but the result is good. The result is the building of the foundations, the things that you've already done, the things that you've been working on for years, the weeding, the inner ground weeding that you've been doing, the self-actualization that you've been doing, and the transformation is happening. It may not be totally comfortable, but you're going with it because you know what's on the other side, and it's your purpose on the other side, a real ancestral purpose. You've built up this knowledge, deep knowledge of how it used to be, how it can be, how you want it to be. You know how to use, I want to say, seemingly magical powers that you that you've learned about, that perhaps would have been passed down from ancestor to ancestor, that may have gotten lost along the way, and you're part of the generation in your family that is unearthing these talents, these skills, this knowledge. You're in complete alignment with self, and that happened not so long ago for you. If this reading resonates with you, there was a moment maybe where you even stopped and looked and thought, wow, from where my life was, with a lot of chaos, to finally having this purpose and having this deep desire to unearth ancestral knowledge and know myself more. You have this real alignment, and you know, you've tried so hard, if this reading resonates with you, to do good, to pass on good vibes, to look after other people, to be there, maybe even tipping over to the people pleaser extreme now and then. But you know, this high knowledge, this high priestess knowledge and high priest knowledge, the divine feminine, divine masculine balanced within, but it's deep-seated knowing of how to be, knowing of what to do, knowing what people need now. So you're not just sort of casting your pearls to swine anymore. You know who to pass that knowledge on to, and how to do that, how to choose who you share your knowledge with, and when to use your knowledge and skills to the most optimum, at the prime time. You've got that poise about you. So there's this complete alignment, this complete deep contentment, this rest from the chaos that life may have been beforehand, this absolute sigh of relief of, I am who I am, I'm going to be who I am, and I'm going to do it to my best ability, and I am going to actually enjoy this game, this life game. I am going to enjoy it while I'm here. I'm going to fulfill my purposes, but I'm going to enjoy it along the way, because I feel passionate about it. I feel directed towards it. There's just real clarity here, Gemini. The swords aren't up in the air. Everything's just solid, foundational. And you're inspiring others, which is like in turn, you know, giving you even more oomph. That's what's feeding you. You've got your circuitry system wired up right. You're taking in the right energy, and you're giving out the right energy at the right time to the right people. And people are listening, and they're inspired by you. So there's these tens in the reading, this tower, the wheel of fortune, but there's this constant undercurrent of, you have mastered some of your elements. You've mastered the fire within. You've mastered that passion within, i.e. Going with what can sustainably burn, can sustainably excite you and drive you. You've mastered the waters within. You've really gone deep. You've healed old wounds. You've even gone back, some of you, and healed ancestral wounds, things that have been passed down from ancestor to ancestor through the DNA, parental debt that has been passed down for a long time. Some of you have been ascended enough to even go and know how to go into that and really heal that, not just for yourself, but for the people that have been here and passed. That has a real, not just an effect that you can see in your life, but I feel if this resonates with you, you'll feel it deeply, that you have the gratitude of your ancestors and the adoration of your ancestors for finally being the one, this generation, this one that healed these wounds, that reset the course of this DNA line. That is deep, that is important, and I don't think you'll see the true manifestations of how big that is even in January, but through 2020, through this reading, I'm so confident that you'll continue to have that feedback from your ancestral line, from the people that are around you, and just from that inner knowing within, that divine high priestess and high priest, divine feminine, divine masculine, working together, having that reciprocity between the two. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And you know, these new opportunities, just sorry, I've got this tickly nose. These new opportunities are just going to keep showing themselves to you, because you're just in alignment. You're just on your right path. You're doing what you should do, when you should do it, and how you should do it. You've finally just got that that discernment and clarity that you've been searching for, and you have this self-control now. You're not exhausting yourself, being the exhausted people pleaser, giving more than you get back, or giving more than you can even afford to give. You're balanced, you're whole, you have that control over every aspect of you, so that you're sustainable. You've got your circuit, like I said before, your breathing circuit, your energy circuit, your blood circulatory system is in balance, it's in flow, it's oxygenated, it's you've got that self-propulsion, that's what it is, and you're going forward with that, and you know, full steam ahead, but in balance with that temperance card. so there's a lot to say, but there's not so many words to describe what's going on, really, Gemini, because this is so deep. On the surface, yes, it's a nice reading, there's transformation, there's changeable points, you know, you're in alignment, but it's this ancestral healing that is really impactful to me as I'm reading this deep wound healing, this deep ancestral parental debt that's kept getting passed down from one to the other. You've worked so hard, and you've worked through your pain, you've worked through that, and you've really got the balance of the karma and the dharma, and you're seeing the full effects of your achievements, of your growth periods, of your expansion periods, because you haven't put your head in the sand, you haven't been the ostrich, you know, you've been the eagle. You've flown through those thoughts, you've soared up high, and you've looked at it from a different perspective. And the people around you also that you love, the people around you that will come into your life, you know, you've got them too, because you're an inspiration to them. So I have the Three of Cups in the celebration, you know, that alignment, that knowing, that calling in friendships that truly match who you are now through this transformational period, knowing the cycles, having a deep inner knowledge of that those cycles, when best to harvest, when best to seed, just that deep knowing of self, and the oneness card to finish it off. That's just perfect, Gemini. So it's a bit of a short reading, but there's, like I say, there's not much more I can say. Because it's almost a little bit like when something's so enormous, something such an achievement, it's wordless. There's not that many words. I could go around and waste your time and keep bringing out big words, but it still wouldn't really relate to how deep this feels, how meaningful this feels. Like I say, not just for you in your life, but ancestors that have passed, ancestors that are smiling upon you with gratitude, and, you know, lifting you up, because you were the one in this lifetime, you were the one that was brave enough, confident enough, and strong enough to clear that debt, to, you know, really give not just you but the generations after you. So it's like it's a whole thing, because it's like you, the ancestors that I can feel around this reading, being so thankful because, you know, that debt is cleared. Even they're not feeling that debt anymore. And then the generations after you, you know, the younger ones that are smiling at you, that you're having more fun with now because you feel like you're in more alignment in your family, your friends. The ancestors after you, those children after you, have a clearer debt. Your children, whether you've got them now or you're going to have them, or just other children in your DNA line, that you've cleared a debt for them, or more than one debt for this kind of work. And that is wordless, because it's huge, you know. It's and you'll feel it, you'll know that eruption, that change, that passion, that knowing, and that these are adult cards, and that alignment, just alignment, perfect. So if you would like a private reading with me, the details that you can get in touch with me are in the drop box below. We can do a fresh reading, we can drill into any questions you like, anything that's come up here, and be more specific to your individual life path and where you are on your journey. But for this, you know, well done, salute. It's a beautiful reading, an impactful reading, an important reading, and if it resonates with you, good on you. So much love, be balanced, be whole, Gemini.